Hello YouTube fans, back again. And now I thought I'd do this one, as I did the two of the films, this being Hellraiser 3. I might do the later ones later on, during 1 month or a few months after, because the sequels, as we all know, was poor dog shit. But this one, on the other hand, I don't mind. It's a dud one. Is it as dud as the second one? The second one's my favourite, but the third one I'll give it its due. I'll give it its due. I do felt they should have brought back the Cymites though, but I'll give it its due. Now remember the ending of Hellraiser 2 Hellbound, where the cupboard moves over and you got Pinhead and you got that champ saying, "What's your pressure?" Well, this is where it follows on, which is funny because this one, a couple of years later, this one come out like say 1992 when this one come out. Could be right, could be wrong on there, but yeah, say 1992 when the third Hellraiser film come out, that being Hell on Earth. And I would say this was more American. You don't get any of the actors or actresses. You do get Kirsty make a disappearance, whether it's a deleted scene or she made a disappearance is a different story. And again, they made two edited versions. They made the extended version and they made the theatrical. I've actually seen both, and I've got to admit the extended one does have a bit more meat to the bone. A few extra scenes here and there, nothing to run home about, but it's definitely a lot more fire, especially in the nightclub scene, which I'll get to that in a minute. So again, it starts off now, early 90s. It's a film was in the early 90s. And you've got this guy who collects things, he collects arts and that. And he collects the cupboard, which we all know was in number two. You also get a reporter in this who's the main new character, and she sees this champ. I think it's champ. No, it's this guy. He works in a nightclub. It's whooped off later on, and he's getting ripped to pieces. And then the extended one, a lot more traffic. You can see the fucker's head getting ripped off. Definitely blood first there. I say it's definitely the finest one in the Hellraiser films. So then you've got this guy, he's basically just a cheat, basically. He uses women, he uses them, he shags them, and he dumps them. So basically he's a bit of a user. And he meets a girl, there's a bit of a bonking scene. And, well, before any of that, he actually cut his hand, the lad. He cut his hand. And the blood, just like in Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2, in like them two though, it resurrects Pinhead. And again, as I was about to say, he bonks a girl, bit raunchy scene. Tells the dude to get lost, the dude tells him to go to hell. Next thing you know, Pinhead comes out, rips the skin off and drags it in, and you assume he eats her, and not in a sexual way. So it's similar to like the other ones. The more blood Pinhead gets, the more he becomes Pinhead. And he promises the lad he'll get some powers and all that, and the lad, obviously, his dull abilities get the better of him on that. You get another dirt in it. It's been in a lot of things. And if you remember me reviewing Warlock 2, the edited, she was in this, she was in that. And you see it where she's puffing a lot. And it's a funny biography about here because the actress, a couple of days after, admitted she doesn't like smoking. She's not even a smoker. And she does, every time she had to do that, and even though she puffed it out, she didn't properly nail it, she hated doing it because she weren't a smoker. Bit of interesting history. But again, she meets the reporter, and you get the idea that the reporter's father was in Vietnam, and he got killed in Vietnam. Whether he was found missing in action or he got shot up by the Vietnamese is a different story. But you got the idea he got killed in Vietnam. And this is the one where Pinhead does show a bit more of his story in this. He was in war. I think he was in World War One. World War One. Could be wrong on that. And it's interesting because Pinhead does actually play two different roles in this. He plays himself and he plays the villainly Pinhead. And again, the lad is using the door, the one that doesn't stop smoking. And this is where he gets killed. He tries to kill her, but Pinhead kills him. And he kills people on the way. Now, I do remember there was a rock singer that sang a song of this called Hellraiser, gonna let you know, Hellraiser. It's sad to say the rock singer, sadly to say, passed away a couple of years back of cancer, the rock singer. You might remember him singing the song, The Ace of Spades, The Ace of Spades. Sang a lot of rock songs. It's funny enough, Pinhead does make a test appearance in the music video. So you can see they're trying to make him into an art fob like they did with the Freddy Krueger and, you know, Jason Voorhees and Michael Mathers and Leatherface and that. They're trying to make him into an icon, I would say. So yeah, he gets resurrected, Pinhead, and it's a bit now where I'm about to say, gets into the nightclub scene. He kills loads, and I mean fucking loads of people. This has to be the bloodiest, defiantest, and in the extended cut version, a lot more get killed. One gets their eye ripped out, there's a scene where a disc spies in there, you know, the CDs, I mean. One slams it down the net, one slams in the guy's fucking Dorset, wraps him in the eyeballs, chains and ripping a person's face. I can go on, it's just literally a door fest. Good practical effects, but definitely not for the faint-hearted. It is definitely gruesome. The scene in it where Pinhead gets hold of this piece, a lot more graphic in the attended version. His arm stretches out, touches these triangles, but I can't pronounce it then, these triangles. That reminds me of Freddy, you know, in the original Elm Street, where Freddy's arm stretched out. But he does it in this and touches these triangles. And I do admit the actor, we all know, had a few good lines as Pinhead. These are to be the best lines he ever used. And you get the idea, he's trying to get new Siamites to foil one, because the other Siamites in Hellraiser 2 got killed. But the reporter does do a deal with, she does a deal with the Dud Pinhead. So you could say there's a Dud Pinhead and there's an evil Pinhead. So you've got a Dud Pinhead and you've got an evil Pinhead. And she does a deal with the Dud one to send the evil Pinhead back to hell. Yep, she gets the bots, she gets the fucking bots, and she deals with them all. And the woman doesn't stop smoking. You got the idea she's also been turned into a Siamite. Bit of gruesome scenes, goes into the nightclub. You got the aftershocks of all the bodies, blood, door heads, ducks everywhere. Beautiful. It's definitely a bloodthirsty film. Definitely all bat on the blood, and it definitely all bat on the door. And I love it because this film to me had balls. I'll have to say it. This film had fucking balls and big ones. Isn't PC pussified. It's Dave Barker. It's Dave Barker at his best. I don't miss the fantasy world of Hellbound, where you're in the maze and that, but I do think Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, it's a good one. It's a good one. So she defeats Pinhead. Pinhead at one point pretends to be her dad, which is like a nasty chick. Kind of reminds me of Elm Street 3. How Freddy pretended to be Nancy's dad and how we got Nancy. But more or less he does it to get the bots. The Dud Pinhead comes out, the Dud one. I love the makeup where they're both stretching one another's faces and he says the line, "Send him to hell, send me back to hell." So she presses the button, sends him to hell, gets rid of the bots, and then you sort of like get an opening that they're going to find that bots, and it falls on in the fourth one. But the less I talk about that, the better. I can watch the fourth one, but it's not a good film. It's not a good one, so one day around the road I'll probably review that. It will probably be a rant and it'll probably be a review if I do. But Hellraiser 3 had to be the last, had to be the best. When I say the best, had to be a good one. One of the last decent ones in the Hellraiser films. And as they went on, they just went fucking shit. But Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, it's a good one. And if you like what you see, just press that button, subscribe, or leave a nice comment. Into them, be good, be safe, and I'll see you soon.